Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into a daily read for Sunday. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing out there. But before we jump into your reading, I do want to remind you quite briefly that energy is fluid. Now, what does that mean when it comes to these daily collective general reads? It definitely is meant to aim for, and I'll typically mention which day it's meant to aim for, out of that specific week. But days like yesterday, I posted the daily and I kept mentioning Tuesday multiple times when it was meant to be aimed for Saturday. A little bit off, right? But whether or not it ends up having significance for Tuesday for some people or not, the point is that everything does happen quite purposely within these readings, and energy is fluid, okay? But again, this reading is meant to be for Sunday or thereabout. So, jumping into your cards, your first one on the board is the beautiful Big Happy Changes card. So, it's going to be a Sunday where you're feeling changes on the horizon. You're feeling this sort of shifting period, coming to be. It almost feels like you're needing to, all right, burn away old baggage, burn away old heaviness, things that maybe have been, weighing you down or making you feel off or unhealthy, because it's this feeling of spirit preparing you for, and I know we talk about preparation a ton in these readings, but it's coming out for, I feel, more than one reason. You're being prepared by spirit to feel light and healthy and super positive and whatnot for these new big happy changes in the future. Some of which are going to be exiting single life, some of which will be meeting their soul tribe. You may be moving to a completely new residence, or this could, somehow speak upon your career or investments otherwise. But, basically taking a step back and looking at the potentials of certain typical, big happy changes to, shift you in the right direction. It just feels like Spirit's saying very clearly, there's more than one ahead for you. And I wouldn't be surprised if, even if you're not feeling your best or you're not feeling your healthiest, or as if for somebody, you're not feeling your best about your physical figure. It could be more your face complexion. It could be, your energy for some select souls drawn to the reading. But there's a bit of a glow up taking place either way. And they're saying that as well, once these happy changes, these big switch ups and new additions start to take place in the near future, right off the bat after the first change takes place, regardless of what kind it is, that is going to increase your glow up dramatically, all right? Or it could be, potentially the case where you are about to step into it and you're not really glowing up or radiating as much as you normally could be or would be. And then when you step into or leap into that new situation, being the first of many new changes, you start to glow, you start to radiate. But we're moving on to reconsider. Okay. Now, there may be something that you're about to leap into, and they're saying that's a bit small-minded or small for you as far as that kind of opportunity goes. So they may be wanting you to reconsider. Some of which, drawn to the reading, may feel the timing is not allowing you to choose that option to reconsider. But if you really, really wanted to, I'm sure your past supports in the fact that you have been, and more than ever, could acquire a new situation, a new big happy change of yours in a short period of time, if I didn't say that already. But I also feel like there's maybe smaller choices, or at least one in particular, where you may be guided by a negative spirit or by, your habitual nature, or maybe your addictive nature, to go for something, feeling like a habit, a bad choice of some sort, or at least it's not the best one. And they're saying this is a great day to reconsider. And one of the many reasons that they're saying this should be the choice is to support these big happy changes in the future. Because I feel like, for somebody, this is associating yourself with somebody toxic. So, apply it as you may. But there's also a feeling of your mental status taking a real highlight. And this may even be in regards to how what you're focusing upon. But yeah, I'm being drawn to the glowing aspect of her forehead there. And so there's also a feeling of your third eye being more than open at this point along your path. And you can't help but feel as if people are noticing this, people are paying close attention to that. Because it's almost as if you're understanding things very quickly. And maybe your intuition and or spirituality is playing into that, but you're better understanding certain people than they understand themselves, even maybe in regards to their individual path or certain factors of it, aspects of it. And so it seems like this is a time where you're being viewed as very special, very knowledgeable, very in tune in some way, shape, or form, if not multiple. I do feel either way, you're somebody, and it may not be completely obvious throughout this day and surrounding it, but it will be in the near future at the very least, where they're saying that you influence people to open up, okay, their third eye, to open up their viewpoint, their perspective. It seems to be that you're somebody, and maybe, although you may not fully or at all observe or notice this, someone else, at least one person, if not multiple, is noticing this throughout this day. That you have that effect on people. You make people reconsider. You make people consider for the first time and just open up their mind. Maybe even open up their routines. But the Wheel of Fortune coming out because you're going to experience this day period feeling very, okay, financially flowing, but also just progress coming to be. Your destiny may take a highlight. Divine timing is coming into play. You're going to see true evidence of the fact that you have been making correct choices. It's almost as if you could allow throughout this day certain little moments of impatience or annoyance or imperfection, maybe even someone else's intention, or the way they do something. There's a potential to allow some of which to make you feel like you haven't made at least one correct choice in the past, being a major one, it feels, or maybe just an array of different sizes, different types of choices from the past. And they want you to remember that when you get the Wheel of Fortune in your daily read, your personal read, okay, it is general, but personal feeling, you are experiencing a wheel churning kind of day, plain and simple. Sometimes things need to be looked at as in a very black and white way, in just a less confusing or less thought-provoking way, if that makes sense as well. Simplify for yourself, and even try to simplify outwardly, if that even was correctly worded, so that you don't potentially overdo it with sharing something, so you don't overword, over exude. There's a risk for all of which. But the Eight of Swords coming out, as you can see, because this is also a day where you feel where you're tied down, where you're not yet fully ready or free in some way, shape, or form, if not multiple. That's all very much taking a focus. Spirit's saying where your control lies in regards to this at this point along your path. You need to take action, or maybe hold back and don't take action, going back to reconsider. But again, this is a day where this is a real reminder to Spirit once again to make sure that each and every choice that you're making will not only be a choice or choices for the near future, to kind of like you are today, to where you'll think back and say, I made all the correct choices, plus some. I trusted my intuition, I trusted Spirit selectively, and I improved my path, and big happy changes came to be. Because again, you're going to have a moment or two where you do that when it comes to at least one, if not multiple choices from the past, okay? So it's another period where selectively, very even simplistically in small doses, the past can help your future, and even your present. But the Sun card coming out, because this naturally is reiterating that these changes in the future that you're getting ready for, that you're maybe even initiating to an extent at this time, are going to leave you extremely sunny, pretty damn happy. It feels like this is a Sunday where you are also being reminded whether you feel you need this reminder at all, you're getting the reminder that, okay, everything happens for a reason, and you're where you need to be at this point. Those were not what I was going to say, but they're coming out for a reason. They're reminding you that you walk a very spiritual, very continuously developing kind of path, where they're saying again, big, happy, sunny changes lie ahead, while this day shows you evidence the wheel is turning in your favor. And so let's make certain adjustments and make the right choices to support all of the happy changes ahead. All right. So those are your messages for this upcoming Sunday. I will see you in your next daily read. Love and light.